Money fights, hidden bank account, and expensive online apps. Oh, it's got it all today, people. It's got it all. Hello and welcome to the Vicar's Wife's Frugal Life. My name's Rhiannon. I am your host today. As always, it's always only me. One day we'll have a guest, one day. Please like this video and subscribe, and make sure you click that little bell when you click subscribe, because then it will let you know when I put up a new video, which at the moment is super consistent. Well done me. Yes, well done. You're doing very well, Rhiannon. Why, thank you. Anyway, let's dive in. So my number one frugal win this week is that I cancelled an app, a really expensive app that I'd signed up for a free trial for almost immediately after signing up for it. So I don't know if you've heard of the Noom app, but the idea is that it sort of talks about your behaviour and your mindset around food and exercise, that kind of thing. And since we've been on a lockdown, I have barely moved and I have been baking like a vicar's wife, I guess. Yeah, I've just been feeling a bit unhealthy in myself, and I heard about this app and I thought, that sounds really good, because to me, it sort of echoes what I do in budgeting, is that I think about the mindset behind it all and think about the behaviour, which then informs what you actually do, right? Did any of that make sense? Who knows? But anyway, I signed up for this app, and I think it wasn't totally free, but it was $1. I think it was $1 for 2 weeks. And then if it goes over the 2 weeks, it was $99, which is a lot of money. But I was kind of thinking, well, I guess it's $99. That was for 4 months or something. That's 25 bucks a month. What's that in pounds? 20 quid. That's not so bad. It's not so bad. So anyway, I got on the first day of it and was like, I'm sure this app is very good, but I cannot be bothered right now. We are in a pandemic, people. So what if I'm a little fluffier than normal? So yeah, I'm just not really in the mindset for healthy eating and doing lots of exercise at the moment, and maybe that'll change next week. So instead of wasting, number one, my money, number two, my guilt points, not that you have a finite amount of guilt, but you know, raised Roman Catholic, what can I say? Guilt ahoy. Yeah, I just decided not to carry on with that subscription. Just deleted it. I feel liberated from that decision. So yeah, sorry Noom, see you next time. Still think it looks like a really good app, but just not for me right now. I think I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. It's all fine. It's a pandemic, people. Being kind to myself. My second big frugal win of the week is that loads of people at the moment are offering free online courses, and I'm setting up a business, so I'm trying to sort of get my head around lots of things to do with setting up a business, like the legal side of things and getting my business insurance sorted and understanding more about marketing and branding and all of those sorts of things. So I've been really taking advantage of lots of free courses. So there's so much stuff online at the moment, and a lot of people are putting out free courses as a sort of act of grace, I guess, because people are under really difficult times in the pandemic, and it's good for them, I guess, even though they're giving something out for free. If it is a really good course, and I suppose if they're really proud of the content, then if you've done something and you've really enjoyed it, maybe you'll tell a friend. So maybe they're doing that, and actually it's a good way to drum up a bit of business in a time where a lot of people are sitting at home and a lot of people might have some time to do an online course. So that's an interesting thing. So definitely keep a lookout for online courses and all sorts of things. So I've been learning a lot, really a lot. I realise I've only listed a few frugal wins, but I had a bit of a moment this week that was a massive frugal win, but it started off with a massive frugal fail. And it is that we had the biggest argument ever about money. We've never had such a big argument about money. To cut a very long story short, there was some money that had come into our account that wasn't ours, that needed to go back out again, but some money had to come from someone else into our account in order to go back. And I didn't realise any of this was happening, and the vicar hadn't quite filled me in on the fact that that was happening. So I budgeted from what was already in our account, which was really silly, and we hadn't sat down to have a proper conversation about the budget this month. I think we'd kind of taken it for granted, and I do think sometimes when you are used to budgeting, and especially at the moment we're not really going anywhere, doing anything or buying anything, I just thought it was going to be really straightforward. So Sunday night, this all becomes clear that this has happened, and I absolutely lost the plot. I take responsibility for that. I can get quite angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm hangry either. That's way worse. Probably the combination was happening at that particular time. Low blood sugar and money worries. And it's funny because normally if you just said to me a month ago, oh, you're going to have a really big fight about money in a month, I would think, no, I'm not. We are on the same page. This is just not a problem. We know exactly what's going on. But actually, neither of us have been particularly mindful about our money meetings in the last few months. And we are in the middle of a pandemic. I have lost all my income, almost all of my income. And of course that's going to lead to more stress, especially around people who are really mindful of money and are very conscious of it coming in and out, and the fact that we have savings and we've worked really, really hard for those savings, really hard. We really have gone without to build up that pot so we can buy a home that will be our retirement home, because although we're living in a free house now, when the vicar's no longer a vicar, we don't have anywhere to live, and the church pension's not amazing. So we need to have somewhere to live. Otherwise, we have to live in a church for duty, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to clean someone else's church when I'm 70, 80, 90, until I die. Hopefully at the age of 96, shot by a jealous lover. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so we had this big old money fight. And why was my reaction so big? Because it wasn't really that big a deal. You know, we were in the red, but we weren't really in the red. We dipped into our overdraft for about 2 hours, but actually we've still got loads of money. We've got a fully stocked emergency fund sitting in the bank. Not loads of money, but well, it is loads of money. Depends how much money. If you're Warren Buffett, it's like, you know, a sneeze, right? So why did I have that reaction? Let's go back to that. So I think it's because I'd been writing loads about money and relationships that week. And I'd been thinking about how can I teach people to have a really good relationship with their spouse or their partner or their throuple, whoever they're in a relationship with, whoever they're managing their money with, and how can I encourage them to have really open and honest conversations and get on the same page. So I'd been thinking about that all week, and then boom, we had this moment where we were absolutely not on the same page. We had not had a meeting, we had not had a plan, and you know what, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The vicar hates it when I say that, but it's true, it's totally true. So we did have a huge argument. We went to bed angry because I don't think there's any point trying to make up when you're really late, and when it's really late you're really tired, because you might just say something worse that you regret. So anyway, went to bed, got up early in the morning, made up. And then we had a really good money meeting and really sorted out the problems and actually addressed some things that are a bit more long term. And I'm going to tell you an amazing thing that happened. I got a windfall of about £350 because after all of this, we then went really carefully through the budget and we're looking, oh, where's this coming and what's that? And basically, again, well, I'm going to cut a long story short. I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to tell you the long story. So we pay into a private pension for the vicar every month. And when we weren't using the same bank account, we had a sort of slightly strange system where some of the stuff was going out of his account, some of it was going out of mine. All the money came into the same place at the beginning, but for some reason we wanted to keep our separate bank accounts because we'd had them for a long time and we were thinking of buying a house. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I can't even remember why we had the separate bank accounts. So that money had been going into there because that's where the direct debit went out of. But then when we set up our joint account, we set the pension up to go out of there. But the pension was called something else, and I thought it was something else on the budget line. Anyway, let's cut a very long story short. We opened up the other account, the vicar's account, where this pension had been going into, and we thought it was going out. There's like £350 sitting in there because it's been paid out every month for over a year. So, yeah, that was brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely brilliant. So that money was just sitting there. So that's actually ended up covering our monthly expenses that we had left over. So massive frugal win. A little bit of a frugal fail as well, because maybe I should have noticed earlier what that line item was. Whoops. But yeah, hey, what are you going to do? You can be a budget queen like me and you can still make mistakes and then kick yourself for it. So there's hope for all of us, I guess. Maybe even me. You might think it's a bit of a cop-out that I've kind of combined a few frugal wins and fails, but I just thought that was a really important thing to share, actually. I just wanted to be really transparent about that. I'm not trying to air our dirty laundry. There are some things that I would obviously prefer to keep private, but yeah, even when you think you've got everything and all your ducks in a row, you can still have money fights if you haven't been communicating properly. And I'd gotten a bit casual about the fact that I felt like, yeah, this is all working, we've got this is all working, but actually no, everything had changed and we needed to have that conversation and just hadn't had it. So could have been avoided, but I'm almost glad it happened because it means I can come talk to you about it and say, don't make my mistakes, do as I say, not as I do. What are your frugal wins and your frugal fails this week? Please tell me. If anyone else is having money fights, oh, my heart is with you, but please have those dream meetings and have the really calm conversation, and you don't necessarily have to not go to bed angry. Sometimes you can go to bed angry if it means that you don't swear at each other in the middle of the night, okay? That's better. That's a better thing to do. Please give me a fat old like because I love validation, and please subscribe and hit the little bell because then you'll get notifications when I pop up other videos. I am going to edit my no poo video this weekend and you can see how I'm getting on with that. So thank you very much for tuning in. Well done if you made it this far. Well done. There'll be a little medal at the end, and I will see you soon. Oh, don't forget, I will also be recording my application process to the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme. I did another video last week in case you missed it that was regarding the application to eligibility, so to find out whether or not you're eligible. And on Saturday morning I'll be recording and then uploading my real-time application. So I know how to record my screen and everything now. Aren't I a tech wizard? Maybe I should open a tech wizard YouTube channel. Don't worry, definitely not doing that. Definitely not ready for that. Maybe the world isn't ready for that. Have a lovely week. Bye.